day. Hi there. So we're doing our Pilates class today from the staff room at my Pilates studio, Body Precision. And it'll be a little tight, but you know, that's one of the benefits of learning Pilates, particularly mat Pilates, is that you can take it on the road and you can do it about anywhere you can lay out a mat. Some exercises might be modified, but you stretch out where you can, even if I'm a little restricted on occasion. I'll let you know. And you'll be able to see, I'm sure, too. So we're going to start here sitting upright. And then let the chest widen as you flip the head up to the ceiling. Look ahead at the horizon. Now look down and begin with the pelvic tuck. You curl the tail up and you roll the spine down. We're going right back into your 100th position. So go all the way down here to the ribs, to the tip of the shoulder blades. And then you can pull one leg in and then the other. Squeeze the legs together. Option, of course, to take your head down. And we'll extend the arms forward, start pumping the arms. Inhaling for 5 beats. And exhale for 5 more. So tabletop legs, which is what I'm demonstrating here, is enough to make you start to feel your abdominals, particularly the low ones. But you may want to extend the legs up and out. Even if you need to bend the knees a little bit here because of tight hamstrings, it's still a good thing. You can also take the legs out lower. And so you feel that you're getting a lot of work into the abs, but you're not arching your back or feeling that it's dangerous for your spine. So really try to press the waistline to the ground and squeeze the legs together. Both of those things will give you more access to your abdominal wall. The arms are flowing smoothly up and down here, stretching across the room. The gaze is fixed down on the belly. We want to watch it expand as you inhale and then deflate and sink down tight as you exhale. So breathe in and then exhale out completely. Try to pull as much air into your lungs as you can and then empty them as much as possible. One more breath. And then we'll fold the knees in, lay your head back. You can lower the feet down with the knees bent. Open the arms out to the side and then rock your knees from one side to the other to just stretch out your waist and your hips and get a nice little stretch in the abs here as well. Typically we would inhale to one side, exhale through center, then inhale into the stretch and exhale to use your core to bring the knees back up. From here, we move into the roll up. So you can definitely use a TheraBand here. Lift the arms up. I might bend at my wrist to go underneath the tabletop and then bring the arms forward. Anchor the shoulder blades, lift the head, neck, and shoulders coming up to dive over your legs. Take a deep bow here, stretch out your spine, and then press long through your legs. Work your spine down, curve your way into the ground, come all the way down and stretch the arms behind you. And we lift again. Think of the halo pulling your head up, pulling your neck. The rest of your spine flows and follows. You suck the belly back into the spinal curve and dive as low as you can to get whatever stretch you like. Obviously, you can bend your knees again at the end of that movement, as long as you still feel the stretch in the back of your thighs. Come all the way down. And here the pace is, not too fast because we don't want to use momentum to throw ourselves off the ground and then use gravity to throw ourselves back onto the mat. So you want to slow it down enough that you can really feel the work. Arms lower makes it easier. Arms higher makes it more difficult. Articulate your spine down, take your time and lengthen out through your legs on the way to the ground. And then we'll do that again. Coming up, exhale, maybe even thinking of squeezing a ball between your arms as you come up through that hard part of lifting the ribs off the ground. Take a deep dive. Your gaze is centered here. So as you come down, you're looking down at your navel, down at your sternum, lower the spine, lower the shoulders, the neck, and the head. And let's do just one final one. Exhale before you need it, right? That's going to help you really get a little bit more power boost off the ground. Stretch here. And then we're bringing it back down. Curving your way into the floor, releasing your spine 1 inch, 1 vertebra after the next. And then you would circle the arms around at your side or adapt for your surroundings. Now we'll pull the right knee into your chest, single leg circle. First start with a little knee stir. So with hands to the knee, and you circle the thigh bone on the joint, and then reverse the circles. And then we'll lift that leg up to the ceiling. Again, you can use the band, elbows bent, hold the end of the band, and we circle it across the body to stretch the outer hip, lower it down, exhale all the way out, around, and up while keeping the pelvis level on the ground. So reach and then exhale and circle. The more you reach out into the band, whether it's a real one or an imaginary one, the more relief you find, the more space you feel in that right hip joint. Try to stretch the leg, think you're lengthening the muscles as well as creating more space in the joint. And one more in this direction. Short inhale and a long, slow exhale. Come to the top, reverse. Inhale out to the side and exhale all the way around. Drag the leg across, lift it high, and do that again. The table at the other end is a little closer than I expected. And reach again. We try not to stub our toes while we do this work. Stretch out, pull it over, drag it up, and one last one. Remember, the opposite hip stays grounded. Press your body into the ground. And then here we can fold that knee into your chest. Hug it in tight. And then let's switch the legs. So the right one goes forward, the left one pulls in. And you can start with your little knee stirs, circling the leg on the socket. And then reverse the circles. I'm going to try to move over a little bit as much as I can. And now we lift that left leg up to the sky and press the arms into the floor. Cross the leg over, reach, and exhale. Go out, around, over, and up, and do that again. Breathe through it. Short inhale, long exhale. You want to really feel the abdominal wall knit together here. Coming up to the top, reverse. Hold the right side down as the left side reaches out. And then you circle across the body, lift the leg high, and again. Try to draw a perfect circle in the air as much as you can. And feel the work of your torso moving, working against the weight of your leg so that your torso stays calm and quiet on your mat surface. Coming up to the top here, fold the knee in. And now we'll roll forward and up. We're rolling like a ball. So you lift your head, neck, and shoulders. You push the leg forward and come up to sitting. Ideally sit near the front third of your mat. And hands to your thighs, easier, more difficult, hands to the shins. Pick up your elbows, look down into your belly, curl the tail up. And now we lift the tail to roll back to your shoulder blades. Exhale to come forward and up. Remember, you always look down at your navel and you never let the neck and the head touch the mat. A little bit of hair can touch if you have long hair. It might be difficult to avoid that. But we're trying to protect the cervical spine and the skull, obviously, from sliding into the ground. You start your exhale as soon as you feel the shoulder blade tips touch on the way back, so that you're already into the exhale as you come forward. And just do one more. Try to really round your back as much as you can and then roll on it like a tire. And now we move into the ab series. So here, the right hand to the right ankle, left hand to the right knee. Extend your left leg forward and then curl your body down into your upper ab curl. I'm going to scoot back a little bit more. And now here, inhale, switch your legs. Left hand to the left ankle. And now pull the right leg in. The shin pushes up into your arms. Push down with your hands and long with your leg. The legs shoot in and out in the same plane as your hip joint. So it's a very piston-like action. You would feel that you're just tracking the same line through the air, both on the way out and the way in. We're going to end pulling the left leg in and then pull the right leg in to meet it, one hand to each shin. Rest your head down for a second and turn your head from side to side. After the double leg stretch, well, now we do the double leg stretch. And I'm getting ahead of myself. So lift to come up to your upper ab curl, press your hands into your shins, Now you inhale and you reach arms and legs up to the sky. Circle the arms, around and forward as you fold the knees in and reach here and then circle. I'm just going to bring my arms forward for the space. So this would be an option that you could use. You could just pull your hands in a straight line forward instead of circling them around, which is the classical traditional method. But sometimes we adapt for what is around us, right? And one more, you stretch out to whatever level works for you. You want to feel the work in your core. And then scissors, one leg up and one leg forward. And we switch the legs. When you have your hands to your leg, whether it's down at the calf, at the thigh, up by the ankle, you're trying to pull your chest up and get a deeper upper up curl here. Your legs should stretch out as far as they can away from you. Engage the arms as you connect to your leg. And that will help you engage your core. And then let's bring the left leg up, bring the right leg to meet it. Bring your hands to support the base of your skull, elbows in and down. Now double leg, lower lift. Push the legs together and reach them out. Pause there, exhale and drag them up. Be careful not to go too low, but also be careful not to go to a place that's challenging, right? I want you to feel your center. I want you to feel the abs start to engage, to stiffen a little bit, to become like really aware and awake, and then you lift the legs. The work actually happens not in the abs, it's everywhere you feel them. It happens deep in your body, along your spine, your deep psoas muscles. They're paying out to lower the legs and they're pulling in, they're contracting to lift the legs up. Know that each of those muscles is like the length of your spine from your rib cage to your tail. And they're each the size of your fist. So they're strong muscles if you work them. And then lift up, and now we twist to the right, and then we twist to the left. You shoot one leg forward, and you twist towards the bent knee, coming up, forward, and in. Curving here, finding those upper abdominals, particularly the obliques. You should really feel it here with that lift and twist. The hips stay grounded, the weight of your legs and the energy of your legs moving forward, and that help keep the hips stabilized, but you also have to think about it. Let's just do one last one here. Coming up and forward, and then lay yourself down. Take a deep breath, and let's stretch the arms back and the legs forward. Feel your body open up to the ceiling. The stretch of the abdominal line feels great after the ab series. And now we can press the legs together and start to lift the arms, coming up like you're doing a roll up. And then as you lift, you can open the legs, slide back if you need to, elevate your hips if you need to, and then extend the arms forward parallel to the ground. Push slightly down as if your hands are resting on the edge of a pool and you feel the water lift your chest and lift your head up towards the sky. Now look down and you go out through your halo, out through your head, neck, upper back, mid back, low back. You're diving over your legs, taking a nice stretch here in the whole back line of your body, from your toes to your heels, up your legs, up your spine to your head, and then press down through your legs and your sits bones, and you articulate up, lifting the torso, and now look down again and dive forward. Curve your way down here, stretch this out, reach it forward. Press down, and of course you know from doing other classes that if your hamstrings are tight, you can elevate your hips or else bend your knees as you feel like the tightness in the hamstrings is restricting your movement. Like if I wanted to go lower, I could bend my knees and go a little further, get more stretch, then bend my knees a little further, get more stretch. And then as I stack, I can straighten the legs as I'm able to come all the way up. And you would do the same. One more, diving forward. Lifting the belly into the spinal curve. And let's stay there, hold onto your legs, and try to really suck your waist back. Maybe pull your heels forward, pull your collarbones wide and your shoulders down your back a little bit, and try to enjoy the stretch you feel, maybe even rock a little side to side. And then from here, we'll fold the knees in and up for open leg balance, and then rocker. So holding on to the ankles or easier to the outside of the thighs. We lift the legs and we extend the right leg up, stretch it here. Go ahead, fold the knee, bring the heel down here by your tail, and then the left leg extends, and then pull it on back. The lower back is really curved, so you balance on your sacrum, you're behind your sits bones. And now for the left leg, stretch it as much as possible without overstraining the knee. And now we do both legs simultaneously, lift the legs up, and then fold them back down. They rise again. And exhale to close here. Once more. Hold them up. Rocking is going to be interesting here. So let's say. So you hold your legs up in the air, you lift your tail, roll backwards. And exhale, come forward to your balance point. And roll back. And exhale forward. Tail rises. And exhale, come back up. One more time. And then pull your legs together. If you need a break, you bend your knees and then lower your spine from there. If you can manage it, you keep the legs in the air and then slide your hands down your legs, or even go hands free to bring your spine sequentially down into the ground. If you wanted to, you could put the TheraBand around your feet for your corkscrew. So legs in the air, knees bent as necessary, straight if possible, arms at your side, and we circle the legs out to the right. Exhale forward and around. Circle to the left, complete the circle at the top, and then reverse each time. So now we go to the left, circle forward and around. Now remember, when you first learn this exercise, your goal is to keep the pelvis level and steady as you circle the legs around, so you feel more work in your core. It would even help to have your hands like down on your hip bones, and then push your legs away while actively pushing down through the opposite hip. And then circle around and push them down as you circle around to the opposite hip. And then as you advance, you might think about picking up your left hip to bring the hip and the legs over to the right, and then circling the legs forward. Now pick up your right hip to bring the legs over to the left, and then lift your legs to pull your hips down. And then let's pick up your right hip to take yourself onto the left hip and the legs tip left. Circle legs forward and around. So the circles gradually get bigger. You pick up the left hip to bring the legs to the right and come back to center. So now you're actually maybe keeping your ribs grounded and rotating here through the pelvic girdle to get the mobility through your legs. But you do it slow enough that you're very aware of exactly what you're doing. And the focus is from your center. So we call that proximal as opposed to distal, like distance, if you're moving from your feet. So now we're working from the core to circle around and massage out that low back area here. We get a ton of work into your oblique abdominals. One hip lifts, that tips the legs over, the other hip lifts to pull the legs back around, and then you pull that left hip down to bring the legs up from the right to center. Okay, good, hope you like that. And then we're coming up to sitting here for saw. So you roll up, and then open your legs. Again, you can elevate your hips if you want to. I'm going to try moving closer and maybe from a different angle here, just because I'm a little concerned about the length of my arms and the mobility here. That's going to work. So let's try it here. So stretch the arms out, lift your heart, and then we rotate to the right and dive over. You pull the back arm up behind you and across your body, and then you lift to come up. Stack your spine, twist here, and dive over to stretch. Lift to come up. I know my foot, I'm 5'10" and have a size 10 foot, but it looks really enormous here at that angle. So thanks for bearing with my technical difficulties today. Coming up, center here, and then twist, dive, and reach. Opposite hip anchors down. Lift to pull up, center, and across, and dive and lengthen again. Coming up, center, you lower the arms, you close the legs together, and now we'll lay down onto your stomach here for swan. Swan. So you pull your body long. Let's say Okay, bring your hands back by your armpit. Your head floats off the mat. Pull back to the elbows and the heel of your hand. Pull the chest forward and lift up. And then release your back down a little bit at a time. Push into the ground, coming up, heart high, and then down you go slowly. The goal here is to keep the low back relaxed, so you're not really crunching here at the lumbar spine where there is a natural curve in the direction we're headed in, but you're really trying to find more curve in the upper back where we typically love to bend forward. One more, coming up, pull the blades together, down and in, lift the chest and expand it, get the stretch in the belly, and then release out of it. And then we're going right up into the single leg kick. So you press your arms into the ground, pull back with the elbows, pull forward and up with the chest, kick the heels in, pulse 1, 2 with the right, lay it down, then the left, 1, 2, and down. Now the right here, double beat. Feel how when you pull the heel into your glute, that you get the stretch across the quad at the front of the thigh. And try to really press the pelvic girdle into the ground so that your butt isn't bouncing up and down. It should be engaging, so you'll feel like a contraction there, but you don't want to be hopping the pelvis up and down off the mat. This will help you open up the front of your hip flexors, which often helps release tension in the low back. When we're here, we want to continually feel that stretch in the abs. I'm going to skip the double leg kick here today, and then let's come up to a child's pose. Round your back, stretch it out. Stack your spine from the bottom to the top, and turn around for neck pull. So the legs are apart, feet are flexed. Take your hands behind your head, lengthen up through your head to lengthen your spine. And then you tip back, lean back, tuck, and roll the spine out. Come all the way down to the ground. And then you lift. You can take one fist into the opposite hand, straight line from elbow to elbow. Now lift your head, neck, and shoulder. Push into your arms. Curve your waist forward. Diving out with the head. Bring your hands behind your skull. Pull long, not down, but try to lengthen the head away from your shoulders and vice versa. And then articulate up with your back, lifting you here from the bottom to the top. And then lean back. If you need to, you would extend the arms forward so that you had perfect control on the tilt and then on the rounding to the spine, to the ground, coming back. And then you would either do the fist to the hand or hands behind the head, coming up, exhale, round forward, dive over your legs. Take a deep bow. And as you articulate from the bottom to the top of your spine, your gaze gradually rises to the horizon, then it lifts towards the ceiling. Your gaze 90 degrees from your spine as you tilt back, and then you look down at your center line of your body and you roll yourself into the mat. This is a very advanced roll up. So you'll feel this work for sure. Diving over, lift to come up, and one last one to lean back, and then tuck when you need to, curl the tail, upper up curl, roll your body down. And then once you're down, we slide the feet back in and arms lengthen at the side for our bridges, shoulder bridge. So here, let's start by taking the heels and pulling them back towards you and firmly pressing the feet into the ground. You begin with a pelvic tuck, curling the tail up, and you drive the knees forward, the tail forward, pull the knees forward out over your toes, and you lift up, lifting your hips, and even rolling to the outer arms slightly, pushing the top of the shoulders down to lift up your chest, and then boost your butt up a little higher here. So you're in thoracic extension, that's at your chest, and also hip extension. And now slightly roll to the inner arms. Feel how the top of your shoulders curve up and how your scapula moves sideways away from center. And then you can lay your spine down between the shoulder blades. Continue to lay down the ribs one by one, and then the rest of the vertebra sequentially until you're down at your sacrum, you're down at your tail. And then we'll do that again and then add some knee folds. So we're gonna pull the tail up, push it forward, snake off the ground, coming up here, the eyes are up and slightly back. Push the shoulders down, try to pull the blades together underneath you. They won't come together, but in that direction. Then boost up with your hips a little higher. Really press your triceps, the back of your arms down. Pick up your right knee, lift the foot, lower the foot down, stand into the foot. Pick up the left leg, inhale, and exhale to lower down. The goal here is to keep the pelvis level. One thing that'll help is to think of picking up the knee and lifting the pelvic half with the lift of that thigh, and then lowering it down. Go to just really, once you get to the ground, really push down and activate the glute. The other thing I think of here is I think of like here as my left leg is up, I'm cantilevering the left side of my body off the right side, which is grounded through the right foot, and then bring it down. And now I elevate again if I've slipped down at all, which is quite likely. Push down through the left leg, and as I pick up the right knee, I'm not only getting the lift from the knee, I'm also trying to pull with the diagonal muscles in my torso to pull the right hip up towards the left side. And then let's put that right leg down, connect with feet. One more for the left. Pick up the knee. If you take it up and hold it up, you'll start to strengthen into your back line and the front line if you're using your obliques to help you do that cantilevering effect. And then roll down, curve your back down, sink all the way down. The tail finally settles and sinks. Okay, great. So after bridge, we'll come up to sitting for spine twist. So you roll up, extend the legs, and here, let's take the hands on top of the head. And you pick up your chest, you pick up your halo, you push the hands up to the ceiling, and rotate from your waist. Twisting 1, 2, 3, lift to center, and then twist to the left, and pulse, 2, 3, and then center, and then to the right. Anchor down through your opposite sits bone. Keep your feet flexed, and don't let your feet move. It is helpful when you first learn this to take your feet up against a wall, because what you'll feel sometimes is when you twist, you actually rotate the pelvic half, and then your feet slide on the ground. We're trying to keep the legs and the pelvic half steady and move the spine to get that rotation happening. Come back to center, and you'll twist to the left. Let's do one more set. Feel how doing it with your hands on your head allows you to really access your abs, the center of your torso. And of course, it allowed me to prevent myself from knocking over the screen behind me. All right, so now we go down for jackknife. So this is an inversion. So like a shoulder stand, or even a little bit like a plow when you first start. Those exercises from yoga, right, if you're familiar. And then press your legs together, extend them up and on a slight diagonal out. And then as you press through the arms, you lift the legs, you lift your hips. You go over low initially. And then if you had room, you would slide your feet up. Oh, it might. Good. To bring the legs up high. And then you can lower the feet down again. And then roll the spine out. So that's hard for people with tight hamstrings. They're probably going to have to bend the knees. But it does, it's part of the journey, right? That you start with the legs lower. And then as you build strength into this, you press to the arms and the legs go up higher initially, and they reach up like a candle's flame to the ceiling, reach for the sky, and then you pull your spine down a little bit at a time. And doing this, you try not to just fall into the ground. So really get that work through the back of your arms and into your lats. And your belly releases you down as you work eccentrically through your back muscles. And then you press the legs away, supporting from your core, and then bring that up again. Push down to come up, lift up high. Now gaze is up and slightly back to keep a little length through your throat. It's helpful for breathing and also for talking. If you have to talk like me through the exercise program, and then come all the way down. Hopefully you're also getting a nice release in your back and sort of a little massage. Eventually, I promise you get to the point where you feel that. And then you push down to come up and over. Somebody might turn that time on the table while thinking of something else. And down you go again. And then let's fold the knees in and stretch the legs forward. Today seems like a good day to do the clam series, which is a little more contained. So we'll lay on your side, knees are bent. You can support your head with your hand. Or if that's too much for your neck, you can always lay the arm out and lay your head on your arm, maybe on a pillow or a folded towel. That way you would keep the neck in better alignment. And now here, we want to have the heels in line with the tailbone, the knees bent and maybe like a 90-degree angle at the knee joint. And you could take your top hand into the crease between pelvis and leg, about 2.5, 3 inches, maybe away from the center of the pubic bones, and point in. So if you went in about 1.5, 2 inches here from your fingertip, you would find the center of the hip socket. And then we'll rotate the leg externally to lift from that point, and then bring it on down. If you do that, if you can think about where the femur head is, you're less likely to roll the pelvis back as you pick up the leg. Because if you think about like the whole, if you have the wrong idea of where the leg connects in, what you would do, you might end up like tipping the hip back in order to pick the leg up higher, which maybe looks like you're getting more work. In fact, it does look like that, but you're not actually getting the rotation where you need it at the hip joint. So we want to keep the hip stacked as if your back was against a wall, and then move the knee up and down, spiraling it here from the correct spot here at the hip. So we bring it up and we lower it down. Now we're going to pick up the knee, extend the leg out, bend the knee, bringing the edges of the feet together and close the leg down, and then lift, extend, bend, and then close, lift, extend, fold, and down. The other benefit to moving from the correct place is you really feel that glute medius here, and you're getting a lot of work where some people might develop what they call saddlebags. Here we want to firm up that area, make it strong because it helps you with everything from walking to running to standing. And do one more. And down you go. Now from here, we can lift the leg up, keeping the knee bent. We call this fire hydrant. So you lift up, and here you'll really feel the glute medius on the outside, high up here. Lift, and then exhale, bring it down. Do that once more. All right, and then let's go to the other side. So you can come up and switch so you can still see the camera. Lay it on out, knees bent. And again, maybe slide your hand along the crease between pelvis and leg. Stack your hips. If one hip feels a little uncomfortable here, you could always add extra padding, double up on your mat or add a towel. And now here, we rotate the leg here from the socket and then pull it back down. You spiral the knee up and then you close it down again. Two sides might feel completely different. We have like a lead leg and a following leg, a gesture leg and a support leg. Just like you're right-handed or left-handed, you're often right-legged or left-legged. And even though we look pretty symmetrical, we're actually not, both in our structure and in our movements. All right, now pick up the knee, extend the leg, fold, and then bring it down. One of the purposes of Pilates is to try to increase symmetry in the body so that your alignment and posture improve. So we rotate the leg externally, extend the knee, bend at the knee, the foot goes right back where you found it, and then close the leg down. So open, reach, fold, and close. Let's do a couple more. Pulling the head long, Draw that down, and let's do one more. And then the fire hydrant, lifting the whole leg as a unit here, up and then down. Keep pulling the shoulders down your back and reach out through your center of your head into your halo and out and beyond. You want to think of the whole spine lengthening here while you do this. One more for good measure, and then bring it down. All right, let's go onto your stomachs here, and we'll do a little bit of hamstring and glute work. So you can overlap your hands under your forehead, or you might prefer to take your hands palm up, taking the thumb and the rest of the fingers around the hip bone crest. So the thumb's on top and the other fingers are below. That would allow you to tuck your spine a little bit, which would maybe take some of the pressure out of the low back as you lift the leg. But here we go. So we can have the legs stretched out and a little bit apart, maybe 4 to 5 inches. Then let's pick up the right leg from the glute, pressing the hip bone crest into the floor, and then bring the leg down. And we're alternating the legs. So you lift one leg up and then bring it down. Really try to work your quad so that the bend is at the hip and not at the knee. So we're trying to straighten the leg by engaging the quadricep and alternating the leg lift from here. Alternately push down through the right hip and then lift the leg and bring it down, and then press down through the left hip bone and then lift the leg up in the air. Now from there, bend the right knee and then pick up the knee, lower the knee, and then extend the leg. Same thing on the left. So bend the knee, lift the leg, bring the knee down and straighten it out. So fold the right knee, pick up the thigh, lower the knee, lower the shin, bend, lift, hip bone down, lower and down. One more set. Bend, lift, down and extend. Bend to lift, lower and down. Now a slightly more difficult version is you would bend the knee, lift it up, extend the leg, and then lower the whole leg down. So left side, so bend, lift, extend the leg in the air, and then lower it to the ground. To the right, bend, lift, extend, stretch, and lower down. And now for the left, bend, lift up the knee, hip bone down, extend the leg, try to lift it higher, and then bring it down to the floor. Let's do one more set to bend, bring it up, reach the leg out, stretch it, and lower it. And now for the left, bend, lift it, extend it, and lower it down. Child's pose. Push up, round your spine, stretch it out. Elongate the arms in front of you, kind of drag yourself back away from the heel of your hand to get that leg into your lat and into your tricep. And then you articulate up at the spine. So here we go. And let's turn around here for some teaser. So today we're going to do a bent leg teaser. So your feet are grounded. The heels will stay down. The chest may lift a little bit. Let's see. All right. And then let's roll your spine down here. Hands can slide along the legs. And then just come up from there, lift your head, slide your hands along your legs coming up. So this is a roll up. When your knees are bent like this, implies you call it a roll back, as opposed to the roll up with straight legs. But it's basically what you're going to be doing for your teaser. You could always, again, use a TheraBand around your feet and pull with your arms to help you. But now we're going down again to stay, and then we're going to practice a one-legged teaser from here. So legs together, extend the right leg up, point that foot, and then we can slide the hands along the leg as you lift your head, neck, and shoulders come up. And once you're elevated, extend the arms, bring the hands to the legs, and then roll your spine down. Reaching out through the feet pushing down to the one on the left. And then let's lower the right leg, extend the left. The thighs are in the same plane. It looks like you have one upper thigh and two lower legs. And now lift the head, slide your hands up along your legs. Good. And then just bring it down. This is no joke because it's harder with the legs pulled in closer to you to come on up. So let's lift to come up here. Slide it on up. Reach and then bring it on down. Take your time so you feel that work as you release your body into the ground. And then we'll switch the legs again. So maybe try hands free this time. So coming up, pull yourself up. See, it is hard, right? Lifting up and then bring it down, lengthen out through the one foot, dig the heel down with the other leg, and then whisper down, let's switch your legs. And coming up now, pull to come up. Lifting here, trying to smile while you do it, not always the easiest thing to do. And let's do one last set. So left leg down, right leg in the air, and you can come up. Now, it might be a little easier if you had the legs slightly apart and you had a ball between your thighs to squeeze. Lifting up, pull yourself up here. Definitely be easier if you had ankle weights on the lower leg. Really try to keep the extended leg straight at the knee. And then let's switch. That reminder was for me as much as it was for you. Lift to come up. Pull yourself up from those hip flexors, coming up, particularly the deep ones, and down we go again. Good. And then just to balance it out, pull both knees into your chest, hands to the back of your thighs, head, neck, and shoulders rise. And as you come up, extend both legs, find your balance point, extend the arms, stretch, hands to your thighs. You're going to slowly curl the tail up and the spine back, and then press out with your legs as a counterweight. Go down and then slowly pull the knees in towards your body. Coming in to go all the way down. One more. Lift your head, neck, and shoulders. Start extending the legs. You can use the legs extending to pull you up into a teaser position. Lift the arms, balance point here. Hands to your thighs, elbows wide. Pull the tail up. Start to roll the spine back. Fold the knees in once you start to get to like your sacrum so that your back is protected on the way to the ground. And then from here, we're just going to roll up for seal, our last exercise for today. Yep. And take your hands between your legs, wrap your hands around the outside of your ankles, lift the feet. Be sure you're balanced here, right to left. Open and close the knees to clap the legs together 3 times. Roll back, butt in the air. Clap 1, 2, 3. The table seemed close. And let's do that again. So open, close the legs, roll back, balance on your shoulders, head off. 3 claps, and then back to your balance point. And forward. I like to imagine my tail's being pulled up in the air when I'm on my shoulders to give me a moment's pause for the clapping. And then feet to the ground, and we are done for today. Thank you so much. I hope you appreciated a different background. It was an interesting challenge to be in a tighter space, but